Hi, and welcome back. It's Dr. Michelle van Tonder here. And so I have another story for you today. And this story is all about how you and I can beat the fear of failure. So I would love to share a story about a lovely lady. And this lady's story is that she actually sold over 400 million copies worldwide of her books so far. And but at one point in time, she was actually diagnosed with clinical depression. She also had contemplated suicide and a failed marriage. Single mum. I was a single mum for 9 years, so I know exactly those pressures and that she went through, as some of you would totally identify as well, going through that stress of being single mums and going through everything that's expected of us. On top of that, she was jobless. Jobless and also on government grants at that given time. So being a single mom, jobless, the world was absolutely up against her. And then one day she had to take a train drive, and the train drive was delayed. And it was delayed between Manchester and London, 4 hours delay. Now, you and I know how frustrating that can be, to be delayed and then have all these pressures of our life upon us. While going through this delay, she spent time thinking. Now, many of us have had amazing ideas, but few of us have followed through our amazing ideas. She then, this was way back in 1990, she then decided that she was going to actually follow up. She was jobless. What else could she do on this thought that she had? She then, from 1990 to 1995, it took her 5 years to write and complete her first manuscript. How many of us would have given up listening to our family and friends and them telling us to go and get a job and telling us that we're failures and that we're not going to be successful and we're wasting our time and all of those things. But she persevered through this. From 1995, she took her manuscript to 12 different publishers. These 12 different publishers rejected her. So she had rejection after rejection after rejection. Her absolute frustration, she just continued through that to persevere. In 1997, her first book was published. So can you imagine 1990 to 1995, 5 years to do something, for you to have fruit of what you've done. And then from 95 to 97, before others would recognize that what you had done was a good thing. How many of us have given up after 1 month of trying something? How many of us have given up after a year of trying something and saying it doesn't work? So I want you to go back and look at your dreams and your desires. And, you know, I've worked with many, many men and women who have just given up because of naysayers and people in their lives telling them that they can't achieve something. Even their spouses that are very close to them, dream stealers. She stopped listening to the dream stealers and she went ahead and she just did what she had to do, what she was passionate about. Today, that lady is known as the UK's best-selling author, the 12th wealthiest woman in the UK. Her estimated value is over £560 million. Do you think her delay, her perseverance, and overcoming her fear of failure was worth it? I do. Her name is known as J.K. Rowling. You and I know her as the Harry Potter series. Just a bit of imagination and perseverance took her through. And so I want to share that most entrepreneurs are afraid of failure. Most of us don't like failure. Most people don't like failure. And the reason being is because normally our ego gets in the way and also our identity gets in the way of the things that we're doing. We put a personal attachment to it. So when it doesn't turn out the way we want it to turn out, we say, you know what, I could literally die, especially if we've voiced it to our family and friends. Say, we need to start learning to take advantage of this fear of failure. One of my mentors, John Maxwell, always said, we must learn to fail forward. Sadly, in the schooling system, we're taught that failure is bad and that if we fail, then we're failures. And yet when we get into the big wide world, and especially when we become entrepreneurs and we want to start buying back our dreams instead of working for someone else and making their dreams a reality, we want to make our own dreams a reality. We want to go and pursue our own passions. And when we fail in those entities, we give up because we've taught that failure is bad. So failure is actually good if, one, you actually learn to reframe your goals. When you're setting goals and you don't achieve the goal, you feel like a failure. However, if you frame your goal, I'm not saying change your goal, I'm saying frame your goal with something different. For example, you could write a daily goal in your journal, to journal daily. Once you've done that at the end of the day, did I journal? Yes, I did. So therefore, you're framing your goal with success. And I would suggest that you start looking at reframing your goals with things that you can do daily that makes you feel successful. The second thing is positive thinking plus visualization. Positive thinking on its own, visualization on its own are two different things. Now, one without the other can delay your process to success or your path to success. Put the two together and you actually microwave your success faster, especially the fear of failure. Because with the positive thinking, you've got your positive affirmations, you're having positive thoughts about things that you're doing. And if you're clever enough to actually master the art of visualizing, I'm going to do this week. Now I need to visualize what are the obstacles that are in my way that will possibly come along the way. Because with the visualization and the positive thinking coming in together, what happens is the two work hand in hand. And the positive thinking is going to help you to visualize how you're going to overcome those obstacles before they get there. So when they get there, you're already ready for them. It's the same as those hurdle runners. Have you seen them? They know the hurdle's there and they just jump over it. Then, of course, there's 3 questions you can ask yourself, which is very important questions. And the one is, when something happens, what did I learn from this? Then how can I learn to grow from this and in this situation? And then what are the 3 positive things that actually came out of that situation? So ask yourself those things. And then amidst all of this, you have to do an exercise, an amazing exercise. And I learned this from my physio when I was so stressed. I could barely move my whole body. My back had spasmed up. And she said to me, whenever you're feeling in the stressed space, set your clock to 2 minutes. Go and find a quiet spot. Ladies, we can even do this in the toilet. Gents, we can do this in the toilet. We can do it anywhere where it's quiet. Sit quietly and breathe for 2 minutes. You press go and just go. Deet, deet. 2 minutes later, your clock has gone off. And chances are your whole state has changed to a calmer state. And the more frequently you do this, the quicker the memory of your body's calm muscles will kick into action and you'll be able to overcome quicker. And then the most important thing after this is go take action. Go and take more action, because action kills the fear, overcomes the fear of failure, and bam, you just keep on going. So I'm just saying, this is Dr. Michelle signing off, and go and overcome your fear of failure. Till next time.